Greetings. Today's subject is SCP-682, otherwise known as the hard-to-destroy lizard. Here we go. Due to the, unpredictability of this SCP, we haven't been able to weigh it or scan how tall it is. However, we do have some estimates. We believe it is about 10 feet tall, 25 feet wide, or long, and we assume that it weighs around 20 tons. SCP-682 is a Keter-class SCP. They are to be contained in a 5 by 5 by 5 meter containment box submerged in hydrochloric acid. The inside of 682's containment is enforced with 25 centimeters of acid-repellent walls. This is to not damage the containment and let 682 escape. In the few incidents of a containment breach by 682, many people have tried to lure it into a room. However, its hyper-intelligent nature, we'll get to that later, has stopped it from being tricked so easily. The only way of being able to contain it is by dunking it in hydrochloric acid, whether that be by a trap or flying a helicopter or a plane to dunk hydrochloric acid on it. Attempts to kill SCP-682 have been made by using heavy caliber weapons, pouring it in heavy amounts of acid, and even exposing it to 173 and 096. We'll get on that now. Many scientists have suggested on using 173 and 096 to kill 682. However, both had proven very, very unreliable and inconclusive. Surprisingly enough, on the test with 096, 096 was actually afraid of 682 and stayed away from 682 instead of killing him. And in the study with 173, many MTF guards had shot at 682's eyes to make him blind. If you don't know, 173 can only kill somebody if they're blinking or closing their eyes, or if they're not looking at 173. If they're not looking at 173 and 173 gets very close, he will snap the person's neck, or rather the creature's neck. However, 682 instead grew very, very strong protective shield over his eyes, which stopped the MTF units from shooting out his eyes. After I believe, a 24-hour standoff, they decided to end the test. They subdued 682 and took 173 out of the containment. Anyway, it's now time to move on to his anomalous abilities. 682's anomalous abilities are the fact that it can regenerate incredibly fast, and the fact that it is very, very intelligent. About as smart as a human being. It can even speak English, although with a very deep tone. A scientist actually interviewed 682 on, and the result was, well, this. Dr. had asked why 682 had killed a few farmers when he had breached containment. 682 didn't answer, and so they sent a D-class into the area to ask what was wrong with 682. I'm pretty sure you can see that that didn't go well. 682 had killed the D-class, calling him disgusting. After that, the doctor ended the interview and ran out of the area. Now it is time to show you what 682 looks like. The photo I'm about to show you is a photo of 682 emerging from hydrochloric acid. His body looks very mangled, and that's because his body was torn apart by the hydrochloric acid. I'm sorry for the murkiness of the photo, as this was taken by a civilian. Anyway, here it is. This is what 682 looks like after emerging from a large pool of hydrochloric acid. We had actually poured a bit of hydrochloric acid. This is to stop anybody from breaking into the base on foot and to stop 682 from escaping. He had fallen in by a sinkhole that we had planted there, and he had drowned in there. Well, almost drowned. He crawled out and was barely alive. Now you see why we call him the Hydro-Destroy Lizard. This gave us some time to recontain him, and once we got him back, He was pretty much 100% healed. This concludes today's audio log. I hope that you enjoyed.